we're gonna do this. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Select Start Network podcast. I'm actually gonna do the classic route here. I am one of your hosts, Justin Larcher, and with me today we have a bevy of individuals, cornucopia of whiteness because we're all white. We got some Detroit whiteness over there in the form of Ashley. We got some still London whiteness on the top of me of Colin, because you know I'm a power bottom. He's my sloppy seconds on top. And then we got the Sarnia tan, because you're the most tan person out of all of us at the moment, which I don't know how the fuck that's possible, Michael.
I was at the beach for a week. What do you mean?
Fuck.
You know how mad I was? I just came back from the south, like from Texas.
yeah.
I was outside for like 5 days in a row, and I didn't get tan at all. And I was like,
No,
I
but
put sunblock on, and this is what happened.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm gonna be honest right now. When I visited Austin, it's not, unfortunately, I could say this, years ago. Whether it was for RTX, when I was there as a guardian or just as an attendee, especially when I was actually a guardian, I was out in the sun sometimes for like hours because I had to like gather people up for the lines, make sure people wasn't line skipping, let some of the staff or the important people in without being seen, all that jazz. And I was outside direct sunlight sometimes for hours on end. I didn't sunburn, I never tanned, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening in this city? And someone had best described it as like, well, if you're in downtown Austin, specifically around like the Cesar Chavez area, you are covered in buildings. You're in the heat, but like the sun's not hitting you directly because there's just buildings around covering the direct sunlight. So you're gonna boil, you're gonna fucking sweat, but you won't get that nice tan. Like you have to go a little bit further out to like Lockhart and stuff like that, where it's just plains. Yeah. Then you'll get that like nice tan, or at the beach. So jealous.
And a while ago, I was driving for my job, so I drive like this, like with one hand out here, and then the other hand like on the side. So I ended up with like super uneven tan. I mean, look at that. I got the trucker tan going here.
That's funny.
That's beautiful. You have to go to your boss like, do we have any like European trucks that I could drive? On this side. It's not that you're gonna have to wear like a long sleeve and just cover the one side from now on.
No, just invest in spray tan. So you just spray tan the other side.
Gross, dude.
Yeah. Or you don't have to just get the lotions. They have lotions.
It puts the lotion on the skin. Did I ever?
For us, it gets the hose again.
Thank you. I don't think I ever mentioned this before, but when I used to fight, I talked about this on the stream yesterday. I still have them out. My two fights, the two fights that I had officially, Rec MMA and then Northern Fights. One of them, I decided to do something, and I really regretted it afterwards. It was my first fight, Northern Fights 2016, and I'm a hairy motherfucker. That's just who I am. I'm a hairy dude, and because I'm a big fat Northerner, I got a hairy ass back. I got hairy shoulders, the whole 9 yards. So I told Tracy, I'm like, we got to do something about this. We need to figure out what to do. So she shaved my shoulders so it wasn't just like all just fucking fuzzy hair around. And I'm like, we got to do something about my back. Like, we need to do something. And she's like, well, I have like this Neve hair removal stuff we could try. And I'm like, all right, well, like, isn't that like chemical burning? She's like, yes. I'm like, all right, let's do that for the shoulders. I'm fine with that. I'm like, maybe we'll just do like some waxing for my back or something, just like, because I don't really want, I don't know, something about having that much chemical on my back just felt like I was going to turn into like the Toxic Avenger, where it's just going to be fucking warts and huge just gaping holes in my back. So luckily, we went with waxing. Unluckily, I was also an idiot because, when you wax, your skin gets very sensitive, right? It's irritated skin because you're literally peeling shit off of it, especially if you don't take care of it like I did. Well, this is where like the tanning thing comes into play. I then went to the gym, and I'm like, look, I got a fight coming up. I am fucking like, as much as I'm pale now, I was paler back then, and I'm like, I need to get a tan. And the gym that I went to, he's like, well, we have a tanning salon going, and like it's a stand-up one, and you just sit there for X amount of time, and then you eventually get a tan. I'm like, all right, let's go with that.
No.
And she's like, well, how? The lady's like, well, how much do you tan? I'm like, lady, the sun and me, I'm a vampire, all right? Like, I'm indoors majority of the time, all right? I'm working either indoors or I'm training inside the gym. Like, I'm not outside. It's like, all right, well, you have two choices. We can keep it nice and slow. It'll take, like X amount of days, or we could try to express it, and you'll get a tan. You'll get a tan probably within like 3 days, but it's going to be hot. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Let's go. They give me the lotion. I fucking like this. It's a semi like protective like UV stuff, right? Because you are literally getting blasted pretty much by fucking UV rays. And I'm like, all right, so what happens? He's like, well, you got to take off your clothes. I'm like, where? He's like, in the room by yourself. I'm like, oh, all right, perfect, thank you. No one needs to see the shame. And we go in. I fucking lather myself up left and right. I got this bronzing agent that helps with the fucking tanning. I go in there and I could feel the fucking heat. Like, it literally felt like I was in an oven roasting. And afterwards, I was at my job, the call center job, and I'm like, oh my god, back like this here, like. It was like super irritated. It almost feels like the closest way I can explain it is like if you touched, the clear like packing tape, like the thick ones, and like the you can touch the back and it kind of like sticks and it doesn't slide properly because it's. I'm like, my back felt like that. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And I go home after my shift and I pull up my shirt to reveal. Hold on, I can actually give you a fair representation of this. The color of my back.
Oh, no.
Just pay attention to the lights in the back.
Oh, jeez.
Let's go. Actually, let's go right about here. Here. Kind of, you're gonna let me do it?
None of these colors are good.
Yeah, it's all bad. It's all bad.
Concerned if you were purple.
Yeah, so I'm trying to see if I can get the there. Oh, there it was.
What?
Okay.
Oh.
So let's take it down a bit. Let's take it right about. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. No emergency. It was red. About no joke. About that kind of red, and it fucking had the whitest of whites, like whiteheads all over my back. That
you had boils or blisters. Oh.
Exactly right. To the point where even when I was sitting down in my chair for 8 hours at work, I guess I was popping them without noticing. And that was that sticky background. Like, oh my god, dude. It fucking hurt. And I'm like, I told Tracy, like, I can't fight. She's like, what do you mean you can't fight? I'm like, I am not going out in public with my back looking as red as a fucking stop sign. And it looks like a giant, like, I look like I'm a fucking boomer from Left 4 Dead. Like, I'm ready to pop and blow and just gush all over. And I'm like, what can we do to fix this? And she's like,
just gotta use that in the fight. It's extra poison damage.
Oh my god. No! This is a Muay Thai fight, so like that's extra gripping for him. He can really hold on to me if he grabs me. Like, I can't get away because it'll hurt too much. I'll tap right away. I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. So what we ended up having to do, she's like literally lathered layers of aloe vera all over my back. Like all the stuff you could think of, like the fucking that tube stuff. Oh my god, what the fuck's it called? Polysporin, the whole 9 yards, everything. We even did some hydrogen peroxide to dry my back. I think it's hydrogen peroxide. Yeah. That stuff like that heals wounds, like that cleans wounds and shit.
Yeah,
and like it literally looked like you took baking soda and vinegar and poured it, and then that's what it looked like. That's how much shit was on my back. Luckily, I was able to recover properly. I didn't go back tanning because no.
Forget that.
That sounded like a great time.
Right. I was able to recover properly, and then my back was as smooth as a baby's asshole. It was great. It was fun. The second fight, I'm like, I'm not doing that. I don't fucking care what's happening. I'm not doing that again. So when I fought, because I looked like a big blue fucking bear, because I also had I was the fighter in the blue corner. The blue headgear, blue gloves, the blue shin pads and stuff, kick pads. One of the coaches from another team was right up on the fucking balcony, and he would just start screaming, "Let's go, Big Blue!" Just screaming it like as if to reference like the fucking Big Blue Ox type of thing.
It's hilarious.
And I'm like, you know what? At this point, I'm not hurt from my back. I will take it. And then my coach, just even now when my birthday comes around, even though I don't train anymore and all that jazz, he'll just fucking go and send an invite, a message on Facebook, like, "Happy birthday, Big Blue." I'm like, oh, thanks.
That's awesome.
What I've learned, no tanning beds for me. That shit will kill me. It fucking burns everywhere. I don't understand how people could ever do it.
It kills everyone. No one should really go into tanning beds.
Especially because, like, yeah, skin cancer is like, it's
right. And, like, there's the difference between, like, if you went out naturally to the sun and tanned is that you have clouds and other atmospheric things that block these UV rays. You go into a tanning bed, there's nothing blocking or protecting your skin. You're up against those light bulbs, and I'm like, that's why it's so bad. And it, like, I know Illinois, I'm not sure about other states, but they made it where it was illegal to be, like, I think you had to be 18 to start going to them because girls in high school were going, like, every day, and it was insane.
Yeah.
Cancer
like, you knew too. I'm like, it's not natural when it's December in Chicago, Illinois, and you're super tan. We all know that you're going to a tanning salon. Like, okay.
Yeah, you're not Native American. You don't have, like, Italian blood in you. No, there's something up that's going on here. You shouldn't look like a fucking dollar, like a penny. You shouldn't be that brown.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that was my fun little that happened years ago. That talk about tanning brought that up to me. But like I said, guys, this is the SSN Podcast. I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome. Today's kind of a big day for a bunch of different reasons. Some of it, we'll probably be talking about it relatively soon, if not right now. And then other stuff that happened in the Discord that it disgusts me, and has to do with Disney and fuck me eyes. And we'll get into that in a little bit. Two of the people here, Colin, you might have seen it too. I hope you didn't. I hope you.
No, I completely missed this. I'm coming with fresh eyes. What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh my god. Yeah, we'll
do I want to know?
Yeah, no, but you're a part of this, so you have to. So first and foremost, kind of a big announcement. This is going on to everybody. This is something that's come up recently because certain aspects that have happened on the business side has prevented me to fulfill a prior promise that I had involved around the Patreon account. So for those who don't know, pretty much what is happening is it's literally happened today. So for some, you might not even have seen it yet, but the Patreon account is now on pause. We are not charging anyone. We're not updating it. We're not adding things to it, which is also one of the reasons why we're live on Twitch right now with the podcast. I unfortunately can no longer fulfill some of the promises or some of the pledges that are there for the account, being in the form of having early access to podcasts, having post shows done, some of the Let's Plays that I was trying to plan and get together. Unfortunately, I am not able to get those going because, and this is kind of a good news, bad news type of thing. So that's the bad news. The good news is because the business side of SSN, the stuff that you guys don't see on stream, is picking up. In October now, I now have about roughly, well, I say I, but it's we now have about 2 to 4 gigs lining up every single weekend, where it's kind of big investments. Michael knows about one of them. There's another one that just happened yesterday that came up. There's more and more interest from some of the contacts I've made at a gig that both Michael and I worked. People reaching out to us asking more and more things. It's really, really good for the business because it's allowing us to obviously make an income off of it, make a living, expand more that we can do, get more advertising out of it, more publicity. But because of it, something had to go. And for me, it wasn't going to be streaming. Like, I'm not stopping streaming. I enjoy this too much. I enjoy the conversations. I enjoy playing games with all you guys. That wasn't going to be the one thing that had to go. When I took a look at the other stuff, especially because we haven't had a chance to do a lot of behind the scenes stuff or a lot of post shows like as of late, like we should have been doing. I realized that's the one, and we're charging people money for it, and I'm like, I don't feel right doing that. At least now with the podcast or anything that happens on Twitch, it is you guys are deciding, all right, I like what I'm seeing here. It is something that is consistent because even if I'm not here, you have these 3 beautiful sons of bitches that can easily give out better entertainment than I could, or have so much more variety than I can offer, and it's perfect. I could show up as the fat dad who comes around with the cigarettes because I finally came back from the grocery store, have a chat, then I have to go back to the store again because I just keep smoking those goddamn cigarettes.
He forgot the milk.
Yeah, I forgot the milk. Or your goddamn Pop-Tarts that you keep fucking asking for. I understand you want the brown sugar Pop-Tarts, but they only had the strawberry frosted ones. What do you want from me? I'm only fucking human! And then I leave.
You want the brown sugar Pop-Tarts, man, chill.
That's not what.
You know you're not my real dad.
Oh, man. But yeah, that brown sugar comment was specifically for Zach because that motherfucker keeps saying that
Hilarious.
brown sugar is the best Pop-Tart and he's out of his goddamn mind.
He is out of his mind.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say it's the best, but it is one of my favorites. So.
All
right.
Blueberry's the best, 100%.
Oh, blueberry.
Which one?
Strawberry actually is
Blueberry. No.
Oh, blueberry's good.
Strawberry is second. Blueberry is not
See,
best.
I really like the chocolate fudge ones.
They're okay.
Yeah, okay. All right. If we're having this discussion, I haven't touched a Pop-Tart in so long, but if I were to pick, I have a tie between either blueberry or raspberry. I think those are top tiers. Like that.
The raspberry, yeah.
Raspberry's
We're
really,
gonna tier
really
rank
I've
Pop-Tart
seen
flavors now?
but no, see, I can't do that. I can't do that for the simple fact, and I'll say this right now, because if we're gonna do that, I throw it out the window. It doesn't matter because fucking toaster strudels are the best.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And
I've never had
especially,
You never had one?
wait,
Never
you've
had
never
a
had
toaster
it?
strudel. No.
All right, for your,
What?
all right, for the dessert for your wedding, Colin. Forget the fondant, the fondues, forget the whatever you had. Just fucking toaster strudels for everyone. That's all you need to do.
Jeez.
We're not gonna have a wedding cake. We're just gonna have a pile of toaster strudels.
And you can have awesome layers because you can have
Cut into them.
strawberry, apple,
Yeah.
a cinnamon one. Like you can do all that stuff, and it'd be perfect.
Exactly.
Every layer is like a little bit of thin, like thin icing. That little packets you can do it yourself. Oh come on!
Yeah.
You know how many dicks I can draw on toaster strudels? Oh, it's amazing.
You got your priorities straight.
Hilarious.
But yeah, I don't have no clue where the fucking Pop-Tarts just came out of. Oh yeah, because of Zach. That's why. But
This is
Yeah.
yeah,
It's Zach's fault.
it is.
Zach.
yeah. But there, like I said, there's discussions that are happening in the goddamn Discord, and one of them is a good one, which I think we can all talk about. Which is like who you. This goes around the idea of what is the like top tier, not music composers per se, but some of the artists that Disney have had on their movies that you think are top tier, god levels. Like one of the ones that has been discussed, two of them anyways, in the Discord have been Elton John for The Lion King. Then there's Phil Collins for Tarzan.
The correct answer.
Okay, so this is interesting because then I was thinking about this more and more and more.
You gonna fight.
Oh,
There's no
see,
reason that soundtrack had to be that fucking good. All right, the Tarzan
It's a good
soundtrack is
soundtrack.
incredible.
oh, this is it. This is what I wanted.
I get my popcorn before you guys start fighting.
I'm not denying that it's not a great soundtrack,
Oh,
but
she's saying great. She's not saying top tier. Oh, here it comes.
but listen,
Yeah.
Elton John.
Okay, so let's
That
take.
was fucking great too.
Hold
The
on.
Tarzan's good.
Oh shit!
Oh no.
Okay.
Listen, they are both fantastic soundtracks. Elton John
They
and
are.
Phil Collins are both incredible songwriters.
So
They're both
I think
at the top of the list for me. But Phil Collins and Tarzan just that level
I
better.
feel like the difference kind of is that the music, the type of music that came from Tarzan, the genre was different than The Lion King a bit. You had more of a rock influence in Tarzan, so I could see a person being like, I like Tarzan a lot more because there's more of a rock influence, where The Lion King really didn't have that because at the same time, years apart, it was different. Had The Lion King maybe been made a bit later, maybe the music would have sounded a little different, and then you would have liked it a bit different or a bit more. It's all timing.
Fair.
I don't know. I don't know.
All right.
Any song that could replace "Can You
Okay.
Feel the Love Tonight" in that scene. Just saying.
So here we go. So he is well known for composing. I'm reading this off like a fucking wiki fan thing, a fandom thing.
Who?
For Elton John. He is well known for composing several songs for Disney's in 1994 animated film The Lion King, including Circle of Life, I Just Can't Wait to Be King, Be Prepared, Hakuna Matata, Can You Feel the Love Tonight, with English lyricist Tim Rice. Now, I am just going to go to the Tarzan soundtrack. Okay. And we're going to look at the list. Okay, so that's what, about five good songs. 5 songs. Some good, some okay, some, All right, I'm going to say that. And then we're going to take a look at this album. All right, and what this has to offer. Okay, you guys ready for this? Two Worlds, You'll Be in My Heart, Son of Man, Trash in the Camp, Strangers Like Me, I Am Sorry. It just destroys. It destroys. Also, for you little fucking sycophants out there, there's even a Trash in the Camp version of Phil Collins and In Sync. Elton John couldn't get Backstreet Boys or whatever the fuck he could have gotten for 98 Degrees or where the fuck was popular back then. Elton John couldn't do that. No.
Elton John is great by himself. He doesn't need help.
Yeah,
Elton John doesn't have the frosted tips, all right?
Oh, yeah.
Like he the frosted tips. They brought what they needed.
The guy's got his own things going on with those leather jackets and everything. Come on.
You don't understand. Phil Collins saw the
future.
It was
like his
JT.
stage presence. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Is it, though? Like, he's kind of, I guess, problematic now. I don't know. I don't keep up with him, but, like... I guess he cheated on his wife.
Okay, hey, whoa. I'm talking about the music, not the man. Because if you want to play that card, Elton John's had a fucking hell of a story, a past career of his own, okay? All right? They're both amazing people. Lyrics, like music.
Elton John's a knight. You just can't do anything about that.
He is Sir Elton John to you.
See? You can't touch him. The Queen is even on his side.
I mean, the Queen fucking literally knighted a toaster, for Christ's sake. Like, no, I'm sorry.
And I'm sure it was worth it, all right?
No.
It was.
She knighted a toaster?
Yes, toast.
I don't know. At one point, she wanted...
I thought that was a reference to something specific. I was like, the fuck? When did we have a Sir Toaster? Like, what the fuck?
She fucking, at one point, went on a knighting spree, because I think she thought she had one foot in the grave. I think she still does. But she's like, let's knight everything! And it just, whatever happened, whatever was in front of her... fucking became a knight, all right?
She won't die until Prince Charles dies, okay? Because that guy ain't gonna be king. Telling you that much.
No, but they are from two worlds, and she is a
son,
and he is a son of man. So I can just keep going here. But yeah, no, I honestly, I'm saying it right now. Between those two soundtracks, which is the so this is bias on my part. Between those two soundtracks, between those two guys, I have listened more to the Tarzan soundtrack than I ever did the Lion King. Lion King's got a couple good boppers, but there's something about that soundtrack that you can just listen over and over.
And so I guess, to be fair, I'll say maybe I'm a little biased. Well, because I grew up with the Lion King, I can listen to that soundtrack all day, all night. I love the Lion King so much. And like my first stuffed animal as like a child was a little Simba. Just like there's heavy ties to that, but like I unfortunately I skip songs on the Tarzan soundtrack.
As a person who's not that big into music and stuff like that, I don't remember any of the Tarzan songs, but I remember every single one of the Lion King ones.
No, but see that again, that is a tarnishing. Because you've watched The Lion King a shit ton. There's a difference.
I've watched both. I've got kids.
So
I
do I.
Both equally now.
So do I. But I am telling you, I can remember almost every single lyric from the Tarzan one. All right? And I know Hakuna Matata, whatever the hell it's called, because of the pig and the...
Exactly. They're more memorable.
But also, so if we want to, just a sidestep.
Yeah.
Elton John also composed the soundtrack to The Road to El Dorado, another great movie that no one talks about.
Okay, well, hold on. That's completely separate from what we're talking about right now. All right? What happened is Elton John was strapping for cash. He needed something good again real quick, and then he had to scrape for something, and he found El Dorado versus Phil Collins like, here's my masterpiece. I'm out. And he walked away. And then he's still drumming to this day. You can still hear him in the air tonight.
Well, can we free him? That sounds really like mean. You're allowed to go on in life. Stop drumming.
No, he's Phil Collins. If he stops drumming, he dies. It's like Speed, right?
Oh, damn.
You drum under 50 BPM, the bus explodes.
He's like, what bus? What are you talking about?
Shut up, Phil, just do it.
Holy shit. Also, I'm gonna be very honest. Something I brought up in the chat. What about Treasure Planet? Never watched Treasure Planet once in my entire goddamn life. Never. I don't even know what
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
What? It's so
seriously underrated animated movie. Seriously
underrated. 100%.
I've heard that. You know what? I wanted to watch it, and then I dated someone who was obsessed with it, and then we broke up, and it was really bad. So then I was out of spite. I'm like, I'm never watching that movie. I'll watch it eventually.
It's the same thing as you're associating, unfortunately, bad feelings to film, just like you're associating too much good feelings from the film to the music. Therefore, you're null and void for your Elton John thing, and Phil Collins wins.
No! No! Your logic is so skewed.
I'm leaving.
I missed a couple chapters. It's like A to B, but how the fuck did we do that? I don't get it.
Listen, I said straight up, I might be a bit biased because I do hold an emotional tie to the film and music, but at the same time, it still slaps. All right.
Oh, that's great. It's great. I just like doing this kind of stuff because it always entertains me and people have different opinions, and it's always fun to play with them. They're both good, as long as we can all agree that Treasure Planet is garbage.
Oh, yeah.
No one will ever watch that.
Oh,
that should be burnt to the ground. It's all about Titan AE. All right, it's all about that Creed. It's all about that Creed and the "Can you take me higher?" It's all about that.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
But more specifically, now that we've talked about the songs and we've had our piece, apparently Lion King has started, or was the start of, a massive trend that I wish never existed, as it disturbs me so much, and it's furries. And specifically, apparently, there are what people are referring to as the fuck me eyes in Lion King. Now, I am going to copy this, and if you have this Discord open, I'm gonna post this so you can see it in the SSN podcast. It's this scene that these fucking heathens, these fucking disgusting human beings in our Discord that I love so very much, are referring to the fuck me eyes. Now, Colin, have you seen the fuck me eyes? Did you pay attention to the fuck me eyes?
I just saw them. But the thing is, the worst thing is, I knew exactly what you were talking about as soon as you said the fuck me eyes in Lion King. I was like, oh yeah, all those fuck.
Exactly.
Oh.
Now, I think we can just.
Can you see what's happening?
Can you feel the love tonight?
There's magic in the air.
This is why now I will say this: the Jon Favreau version is much better than the original. Because you can't get fuck me eyes from those lions. All right? I'm going to say that right now.
Thank God. Because that would have just intensified the furries.
Exactly.
That's why they probably could have, but they went, no, because we would create some monsters.
We would create a monster nation of furries.
Someone having watched the Jon Favreau Lion King and leaving the theater being like, yeah, it was all right, but like the lions weren't fuckable enough.
Where's the fuck me eyes? Where did they go?
Yeah.
There was no fuck me eyes.
That's gonna be Campbell and fucking Steph in the review on Rotten Tomatoes for that Lion King one. It's like, it was okay, but where the fuck me eyes? Oh God.
As soon as you said it.
Utopia.
No, that was a good movie. Yeah, it was a pretty good one.
I had this very unpopular opinion. When Zootopia first came out, I thought, like, the film's okay. I just said, like, it was very on the nose storytelling, and I get it because it's all about inclusion and, like, don't judge a person by their looks or their past history. It's a nice message and everything, but I do like films kid films that are both for kids and adults. I think that's always been one of the things that I prefer the most. Like again, I always go back to it. Like Up, I think is a great adult and kid film. WALL-E is another great one. Toy Story, like pretty much almost all the Pixar films except for Cars, because Cars fires. Specifically Cars 2. There's no reason why they need to give Larry the motherfucking Cable Guy his own movie about him being some kind of international spy man, and it's just funny because he's a redneck hick.
Genius, what do you mean? This is a perfect movie.
Yes, Colin, you seem a little confused. Yes, what's going on, baby?
Yeah, I still don't understand how we got from
fuck me eyes.
We're just like jumping all over topics here, and I'm confused as to how we're getting there.
So basically,
we can go to the Lion King. So the fuck me eyes.
Yeah. Did the Cars have any fuck me eyes? Or what about Ratatouille? Did that rat want to fuck that human? Was that a thing in that movie? Somebody tell me.
We need to talk about the bee movie. Hold on. She
God.
wanted to be with a bee. If we really want to start talking about weird movies.
Exactly. Or like the tramp stamp in Cars for what's that chick? Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
You forgot that, didn't you?
I mean,
I was in there.
Cars literally has a scene. I think it's in Cars 1, where female cars, I guess, because wait, do cars have penises in this movie? Like, how can you wait? Is there any genders really in Cars? Let's talk about this.
There is.
No, but is there?
Well,
how are cars made? In the
you'd have to ask Doc when he was looking at the sheriff's junk, because they said something about
like.
Remember looking underneath, and they were like, no,
because they can replace parts. Do they just build more cars for like? Okay, let's just go back to the one thing I wanted to talk about real quick. In Cars, there's a scene where I guess Lightning Flash McQueen, or where the fuck his name is, Owen Wilson drives by, and then this is an adult joke. It's a lowbrow one, but I appreciate it because it's lowbrow. Where I guess female cars flash their high beams at him, which is supposed to be a big old titty flash.
Mm-hmm.
But if there's no, are there?
But there is in the you gotta just go with it. Like there's the female cars, lightning, right? And then there's Lightning McQueen.
Listen, you're trying to translate human communication and sexuality onto cars, okay? They have their own whole thing going on here.
But what is it? What is it, Colin? But what is the thing? Let's dive.
They're just flashing their headlights. They're just flashing their headlights. They're like, hey, Lightning McQueen, and they're just flashing some lights. Do they go like
exhaust to exhaust? Is it like Working for a Dream and they go AS to AS, and then they just
you're assuming they have sex though? Like they make their own. They don't like do the deed. They build things. Like hello. You don't have sex with a car to make a car.
Okay, but then how can you have family in the Cars world? Do you take a part of your, and this is being serious, do you take a part of your own vehicle and implement it into that child? How do cars grow up? How do they, like...
Grades. Extensions, upgrades, bigger tires.
Born mature. Born mature.
So deep into this.
If you think of them as their robots, and and all families are more like found families, and they're not biological, they're just like made to look like each other. So it's like, oh, we're a clan, we're a family. It's gonna make a lot more sense. They're not biological things; they're fucking robots.
But like, I need to know now, because if you have a baby car, how does the baby car turn into an adult car? Because if you're just changing parts out of the car for it to get bigger, like because somehow it matures, even the engine is tiny. You can't just build upon the tiny engine to make a big engine.
It's just a Ship of Theseus thing here, all right? They're just like, are they replacing the parts? Is it the same car? If they upgrade every single part, is this?
Do cars have souls? Do cars have, in the world of cars, do they have souls? Do they have hearts? Do they have brains? This is. The more I think about this, the more questions I have, and I kind of want to know now. Like,
maybe you should stop. Maybe just stop thinking about it.
Yeah, or that too.
The thing that's bothering me is that I 100% know that like 10 minutes out of this podcast, Larcher is going to go and look up Cars Rule 34, just looking for an answer.
Cars have penises. That's going to be Larcher's first search.
You know what? I'm sure there's fan fiction, and someone else has figured this out for you. You can just go.
I don't want to talk to Hunter about it, all right? Hunter has enough fanfics that I don't... Yeah, Hunter, I'm Kilroy in the Discord and everyone else. Lovely human being, salt of the earth lady, love her to death. She actually enjoys reading Sonic fanfics. And every now and then on stream, it's like she doesn't even pull it from the internet. It's like it's bookmarked and ready to go, or it's in there. It's just burned into her mind.
Listen, we read Harry Potter fan fictions on stream as well. All right, it's not just Sonic, Harry Potter, and Dead by Daylight fan fictions. Just so you know, there's a bunch of that out there.
Wow.
Oh my god. Oh my
Zach, you just said you just saw Colin die inside to the Sonic thing. It's not because she's into the Sonic thing, because she's not the first fucking person I know who has been into it.
I shouldn't have done this. I looked up.
I'm floored.
I just looked up Pixar's Cars Rule 34. I don't know why I did this. I
don't know. You idiot! You fucking idiot, Steven! I was making a joke. Don't actually look it up. John, do you know what Rule 34 is?
Oh, I know what it is.
I'm aware. Why?
Oh my god!
Why?
There's a picture of a plane.
No, we don't need to know.
And it's like it's a mouth, and it's like eating Lightning McQueen or something, and it's like all slobbery and stuff. What am I seeing? What is this? Colin, what have you done to me?
Hold on, I just don't want that on my search history. Hold on.
Yeah, go incognito. Just go incognito.
VPN.
Yeah.
Oh, they still know. You got to use a VPN. Someone in South Korea will.
Oh, I need to stop. Oh no, there's an alien dick. Oh, there's alien dicks. I'm out. There's alien dicks. I'm out. No wait. Nope. I just saw a plane with an alien dick fucking another plane. I'm good, man. I'm good.
Why would you even look it up?
I'm good.
Jeepers.
This is Colin has led me astray.
What did I do? What did I do in all of this?
This is what happens when we miss like a week. This is what happens when we miss a week. This is pent up frustration.
Sexual tension.
This is
you got something pent up, all right. Fuck.
Oh my, this is some fuck me eyes all over the place here. Woo! All right. So, talking about movies, there's something that was posted in the Discord. Something that I've watched quite a few different times, and it's not porn, remarkably, or Rule 34. Much to Colin's chagrin, I did, however, watch the Matrix Resurrections trailer that was posted there.
Yes.
And I like always, I have a lot of thoughts, a lot of opinions, because that's who I am, and it wouldn't be much of a show if none of us had those. I'm gonna go around. I'm gonna let everyone else say their piece first, for those who have watched it, and I want to see what. Colin, because I know you're the one who posted it. You've watched it. What do you got for me so far?
I am cautiously optimistic that this is gonna be good, because I see the potential in this movie for a lot of the unique storytelling that we're used to from the Wachowskis. Even though this time it's literally just the one. I don't know which off the top of my head is doing it, but one of them is doing Resurrections. But I see a lot of potential for good. There's some things in it that make me kind of uneasy. The fact that they don't have Lawrence Fishburne as Morpheus, there's no Hugo Weaving as Agent Smith. It just kind of makes me feel like it's not going to feel totally like a Matrix movie. But if they do manage to kind of bring back that old Matrix feeling somehow, I don't quite know how, because Matrix was very, very early 2000s, late 90s with its aesthetic and the soundtrack. I hope it still feels like a Matrix movie. But there is a lot that I do like in the trailer. So I'm cautiously optimistic. So
here's what I'm hoping for. And I'll get to it in a bit. Michael, have you watched the trailer?
I'm watching it now.
Oh, Jesus. All right, Ashley, have you watched the trailer?
I'm watching it right now.
Fuck's sake. All right.
I have some thoughts. I'm like almost done, so I can go on. I can talk as I'm watching it. I kind of have like the same sentiment as Colin over here. I also, though, I'm while excited and will watch the movie, I'm so exhausted of sequels.
Yes.
And I think that's the one thing is like, did we need another one? Did we need to bring this back? And I'm like, a lot of the times, like, I'm sure it's going to be good because I'm not doubting that. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I'm just like, I'm like, okay, is it a partial like money grab And I'm like, I just yeah.
I feel like a lot of the people getting tired of sequels is because there's too many sequels that are just unnecessary. Like there's no absolute need for them. But again, that's part of why I'm cautiously optimistic. Is I feel like at least this one Wachowski wouldn't come back unless they felt like there was a story to tell. There was something needed for now.
And I feel like that is the saving aspect why I'm like a little bit more like eager to go see it, is because it's not like it was some random person who's like, I'll make a 4th film or whatever. And it was someone who's been a part of it from that beginning.
Well,
so
it's also been like, when's the last Matrix? When was it? When was the last Matrix released?
What is that? 2000 something, wasn't it?
2003.
2003. Yeah. So it has been. Oh my god. It has been almost 20 years since the last Matrix.
18.
So the reason why I think this could be good, it's not a money grab because this is a film franchise that's laid dormant for almost 20 years. You do have quite a few returning characters. Well, 2 of them really. 3 character-wise, 3. If you're counting Morpheus, because he's being played now by Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, which
he was a great actor.
Yes, he is a phenomenal actor. And I have a suspicion with this, which I'll throw it in a second. I think if we even just look at the beginning part of this trailer, when they have like that scenic world, like I guess like at the therapist's house or whatever, at his office, holy shit, does that look fucking fake and shitty? Like it just looks so. But I think it is done on purpose. Yeah. Because it's the Matrix. Like we know what the Matrix is. We know everything that's happening. And I think the Matrix, the robots, are trying to build this perfect utopia to keep Neo sedated, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Him being the one thing, again, the one thing that could stop whatever the robots are planning. Because as far as you can see in the trailer, what they've led on for you to believe, which if this is the case, it kind of disappoints me because it is a trailer that literally has revealed way too much, I find. If this is the case, this could be a complete swerve, which I think that'd be kind of cool. But as it stands, the robots have decided to not, I guess, agree or keep their agreement that they had with Neo from the last Matrix, which was like, we're going to stop harvesting our humans or stop attacking the humans. You're going to stop attacking us, and we're going to fix this Agent Smith problem, which Agent Smith became a virus who spread throughout the Matrix, which then somehow also was attacking into the real world, which means it was a threat to the robots and to the people as Agent Smith grew, multiplied himself as a virus. The agreement was made, and then Neo sacrificed himself like Jesus Christ. That's the whole like comparison, is Neo is Jesus Christ in the Matrix franchise. Sacrifices himself for the greater good so that people can live on peacefully. Now, I would have to rewatch the Matrix 3 because I thought the idea was the robots were going to stop using humans as batteries and everyone was going to live separate and they're going to find their own energy source type of thing. I could be wrong. Maybe it is that the people who are awake are going to be left alone and the people who are still in the Matrix are just going to be in the Matrix, and that's their battery source. I can't remember exactly what that was, if that was the agreement or not. That's kind of interesting to see what's going to happen. From what the story is leading us on, I think the robots lied. They're keeping Neo sedated. Or, what is it, the architect? Is that his name? The dude in the white suit. And he's like, oh, the architect. Yeah. He's like, you're but of one Neo that I've met already. There's thousands of you going through different paths right now, happening all instantly. This could be a Neo from one of those paths who decided to either never wake up or did wake up and decided to go back in. There's a bunch of things that could happen. Like I that's the thing about the Matrix. There's literally an endless possibilities of what could have happened. This could maybe not even be our Neo. This could be Neo from the future, right? Because they keep saying that everything repeats itself. So this could just be that start of a new thing. I don't know. I think it's interesting. Sorry, Ashley.
I was gonna say, so going back to like you said, because it's been so long from the third one to this one, so it's like one of your points as to why it wouldn't be like a money grab. I don't want to go in saying that's what it is.
Oh yeah, of course.
But there's this concern because there's a lot of franchises. Terminator did it. Halloween's done it, where they have these big gaps. They bring this new one in, and if it's successful, are we going to start seeing more sequels because it was successful, especially since in the previous X amount of years, Keanu Reeves has gotten, his popularity is shot up again. And so now it's like, oh, well, he's going to bring in the people. Then you got the people who are nostalgic for this franchise that are going to be brought in. And if it does really well, are we going to try to greenlit a fifth one? Or a sixth one, you know, because that's just how Hollywood operates. If you know they're going to get the money, this is kind of like that. Now, like I said, the benefit or the pro is that we're taking people who've been a part of the franchise and continuing it. It's not some random person going, I have an idea. So that's like the saving grace kind of, but it's a concern knowing how Hollywood operates, that if this does really well, are we about to now see a slew of films come out for Matrix because of that?
I think no matter what, as long as this one performs well, they've already lined up probably a trilogy. I think this is what the idea is.
Like a 4, 5, 6.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a 4, 5, 6 as long as this one performs well. If it doesn't, that's going to be a one shot, and that's going to be the end of it. I have a theory in this. So this is more just going about what I've seen in the trailer. The Morpheus that we see in the Matrix, I don't know. I'd have to rewatch the trailer again, but I'm pretty sure you don't see Yahya in the real world ever. You only ever see him in the Matrix. So even though we haven't seen Lawrence Fishburne yet, I think that which I'm assuming it's going to happen when Neo gets pulled out and back into the real world, it's going to be Lawrence Fishburne. Lawrence Fishburne, real world, Yahya in the Matrix. I think that's what they're going to try to go for, because this is no dig towards Lawrence Fishburne. The man is just, he's an old gentleman. He has not kept in the same training physique routine as Keanu Reeves has. For the love of God, the man's been doing martial arts since the Matrix. Like I think he's a brown belt, I believe, in jiu-jitsu, almost a black belt. He's done a bunch of other combat sports training. He's now an efficient marksman, thanks to John Wick and all that training. So it makes sense as to why Keanu Reeves has stayed in the shape that he's in.
Yeah,
I think for Lawrence, he didn't do that, because when you saw him in John Wick 3, he's a thicker gentleman. Like, he's still built. He's a thicker gentleman, which he might not be able to perform as well as Keanu. So that's why you have Yahya. Because again, if you remember this correctly, in the Matrix, your portrayal of who you are is just what you think of yourself in your mind. So if Morpheus sees himself as Yahya, that's what he's going to look like. If he thinks himself as Agent Smith, you know, then you got problems. But it's actually, I bring up his name. There's a scene in the trailer where Neo looks at the mirror and there's like a reflection. Yeah, there's like a reflection, which to me either looked like an old man, but then someone pointed out that that kind of looks like Agent Smith. So there's a chance that if this is our Neo, Smith is still inside of Neo, and either the machines really want to separate him, get him back out, or there's something that's causing Neo to actually finally let it all go, you know? Because we see in the trailer, I guess, the therapist, which obviously is working for the Matrix, he's a program, he's a software program that is encouraging him to take those blue pills to keep him sedated. Stops doing that, takes that red pill, we're off. And, you know, who knows what's going to happen from there. But, like, what do you want to see in this film after what you've seen in the trailer? What are the things you want to see?
Honestly, I don't know. Like, I genuinely don't know what I want to see. I just want to go in there and I want to feel like I'm watching a Matrix movie. I kind of want that same vibe, that same feeling. And Zach mentioned something about how, just take on the trailer, like the music both fit and didn't. Because, like, I completely understand that, because you know why they chose the music for it. It's White Rabbit, the House in Wonderland, that whole allegory that the movie takes. But musically, I understand that. So which is why it kind of didn't totally feel like a Matrix movie when I was watching the trailer. But I just wanted to kind of capture that old feel again.
And they do this thing at the end of the trailer that they got me, and it's that fucking Matrix sound. They have that one. It's the music part of when Neo finally starts believing in himself and like he knows that he's the one, and it's like this trumpet little quartet that's playing, and I'm like, you motherfuckers, I'm in. I heard that, I'm like, fuck, goddamn it, Lana, you know what I want to hear. You're gonna do it. I think it's gonna be interesting to see what the action is going to be, because the original Matrix was like very wire fu, kung fu like inspired action. Now that Keanu has done a lot of this hand-to-hand combat training, specifically for John Wick, are we going to see that more entailing into this, or is it going to be still like that crazy, like, because you see it in the trailer, he does like the fucking push effect, which then sends Morpheus flying out of that training simulator? Are we going to see more of just Neo just doing the whole like hand-to-hand push away and you're done, or are we going to see more of that hand-to-hand combat style? Like, I kind of want to see the hand-to-hand only if you get a new Agent Smith or Agent Smith himself. Like, you get Hugo Weaving to come back. But, like, again, Hugo Weaving is much older. I don't know if we're going to get the same kind of, like, presence, right? And you also get that cocky prick at the end who's sitting in the chair. What the fuck's his name? Jonathan Groff, I think.
Jonathan Groff. Yeah.
Oh, Michael left.
Wah!
Bye, Michael.
Hold on, I gotta set up for the 3 setup. He's back. Okay, he's back.
Wait, no.
He's back.
Sorry.
You're good. Yeah, I think
I'm all for him, because he was in Mindhunter, and he was very good in Mindhunter.
Yeah.
So I'm totally happy with him being in the movie.
Oh, apparently he's Kristoff in Frozen. I did not know that.
Oh.
Huh. Look at that. Something I wish that I never knew. Thanks, IMDb. Yeah, no, I think it's gonna be it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be good. And I know that Camp's saying right now, like, he looked up IMDb, it's just Yaya as Morpheus. Studios will sometimes pull names or not have certain names in the IMDb cast list until closer to the film, or until the film is actually released, to have things that certain, like, secrets not being revealed or any spoilers. Like, when you look at the list in IMDb of the characters, literally you have Jada Pinkett Smith as Niobe, Lambert Wilson as the Merovingian. I always forget that guy's name. I have a really bad time with that. But, like, besides that, all the characters, almost every other character has no name. Jessica Henwick, no name. Christina Ricci, no name. Ellen Hallman, Priyanka Chopra Jonas, like, none of these people, Neil Patrick Harris, they don't have names. Only the characters that you know that have been established have names. So Neo, Morpheus, Trinity, Niobe, the Merovingian, and a dude called Lieutenant. Ian Peary as Lieutenant. That's it. So they're keeping a lot of this secret. Like, they do not want a lot of this information either being shared upon, because it is the internet and we all know how it is. The moment there's any kind of information leaked out, especially for a high profile film like this, it just spreads like wildfire.
That happened at one point with the release of one of the newer Terminator movies, because they accidentally released that Matt Smith was playing a Skynet personified thing, and that was put on IMDb or some shit like that, so that was a big fucking spoiler. So when he shows up as one of the good guys in the earlier, everyone already fucking knew, he's Skynet, though, in disguise. So.
Oh my god, that's Terminator. Is that Terminator Genesis?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, that was a terrible movie. Oh my god, I did not like that.
I never watched
it.
Neither of the new ones were very...
No, it was. It's so sick, because Terminator 2 is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
And so when they all started, I was like, I'm like, with the technology we have today, we can make some really cool movies. And they're just all trash. I'm so upset.
There's a couple issues with that, right? One of them being, here's my thing. They're going back to the well too much with Terminator. Like, they keep going back into the past, back with Sarah, back with John. Like, here's an idea. And you did this once with Terminator Salvation, which, I'll be honest, Terminator Salvation, not that bad. I think it's an okay.
It wasn't that bad. I enjoyed it. Like, was it mind-blowing? No.
No. And the twist of, like, the human Terminator hybrid thing, I wasn't the biggest fan of. But the rest of it, like Christian Bale as John Connor, like the pretty much the origins of what we know already from Terminator 2 and 1, finally seeing it actually play out, it's kind of cool. I think that was really nice. Aside from that, there's not a good Terminator movie, man. Like, and I think a lot of this is because James Cameron's not at the helm. He's just a producer all the time. Like, he knows that this franchise is a dumpster fire now at this point, and they just can't do anything with it. Like, it's like, talk about a franchise, like you said, that just needs to die. Terminator's one of them. I always fear when I saw as an April Fool's joke years ago that they were going to redo Back to the Future, and they had Justin Bieber as Marty, and it was just an April Fool's joke, and I fucking lost my mind back then.
I would have lost it. I would have just burnt something down.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but it would have been on fire.
Out of something.
Yeah. Because to me, that's still one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, that's when people talk about their trilogies, right? Like, when you think of what's the best trilogy, right now, Colin, what's the best trilogy for you?
Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. Michael, what's the best trilogy for you?
Yeah, I'd say Lord of the Rings too, actually.
All right, Ashley.
All right, I kind of wanna say the Dark Knight trilogy.
There you go. For me, so the classic ones that people always think about is the original Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, and a lot of people nowadays are going more with the Dark Knight saga. For me, it's always been Back to the Future. I love the Back to the Future trilogy because it is such a mix of, you have your classic sci-fi, like 1950s, like retrospect. You have the actual futurescape version in the second one, and then you just get a nice fucking good old-fashioned Western in the third one, and it all just completes at the end. Oh my god. And you got the little kid pointing his dick. Oh my god, it's so fucked up, and it's like, that's a piece of, like, you guys know about that, right, by the way? That scene? Yeah. It's so weird. But which, by the way, I know a lot of people have thoughts on that, which is there's two things. One, the kid was just doing that because he had to go to the bathroom, or B, which this one actually, it makes sense to me. When you redo a bunch of takes over and over and over and over again, especially with kids, they just start memorizing certain things that happen, like when the camera dollies and it stops here. And if you pay attention, the way that he's doing, he's like, come here, come here, come here, stop. He literally does this, or I guess like this, and then like that. It's because he knows the camera dollies, and then ends right there. And that could be what he's doing. And also there's the people who just want to be like, he's pointing at his dick. It's like, all right, you need to chill out.
Yeah. But no, that's definitely what, like, my, like, what, second favorite trilogy. I absolutely love Back to the Future. I watched it on the plane to Austin because I was like, yes.
Yeah, the perfect time, right? Like, I got a couple hours, let's just fucking go.
Yeah. Such a good movie.
It's good. There was something I wanted to bring up, and it was kind of not important, but it was. Well, I'm gonna bring up the important thing now, I guess. I talked to Colin a little bit before this, and Ashley too, Michael, that you're here. This is Canadian politics in a sense, but it's not. I don't want to concentrate on the politics itself. I want just to explain something, and then the overall feeling of everyone, please go vote. Your votes matter. It is important. There's no such thing as a wasted vote unless you decide not to vote. 100%. That is what a wasted vote is. It doesn't matter if you're going with the Green Party, NDP, Conservatives, or Liberals. I just want your voice to be heard, especially with the growing, what I would call the growing threat of this new party that has gone up, and more people have been paying attention to it, called the PPC, which for a lot of people don't know is the People's Party of Canada.
Yeah.
Michael knows about them. It is their leader, their fucking cult leader, all right, is Maxime Bernier. He is their leader, and this man is basically running a party platform based on hate-mongering, racism, and actually defunding departments within our government that need to have money. There's an article here that I'm going to post. This is important to me. That I'm going to post here in the in the chat. I'm also going to put in the link dump, which is like the 5 crucial things that you need to know about the PPC, so you can make your own educated opinions on this. I did say that earlier that I was going to read all of it, but I don't want to get actually mad on air. Like I scream a lot. I tend to like exaggerate a bunch of stuff, right, for the podcast. This will actually make me mad, and no one needs to see that. This is just to give you a few ideas as to what this man wants to do with his party. The environment. The party claims there are uncertainties over the scientific basis of global warming. And there is no reason for government interventions. There is a scientific consensus that climate change is caused by human activities, described in reports from the United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. The PPC would withdraw from the Paris Agreement and abandon unrealistic, quotations, greenhouse gas emissions reduction targets. They would scrap the federal carbon price and let provinces decide if they want carbon pricing mechanisms. They would also end subsidies for green technology. That's free expression. The PPC wants to repeal any legislation or regulation curtailing. I've never seen that word before. Curtailing free expression on the internet. Repeal legislation adding gender identity or prohibited grounds of discrimination on repeal on non-binding motion condemning Islamophobia. This is one of the biggest ones that fucking pissed me off. And I'm sorry, I said I wasn't gonna get mad, and I'm sorry. I'm just. A lot of the party members of the PPC are very anti-Islamic, and it's to 100%. The point. It's to the point where they will literally form rallies, use fake names, because somehow they don't think that reporters will show up and be like, "Oh, hey, you're XY person of the PPC," to stop people from Islam moving over, and then somehow turning the West into a new Islam is like one of their biggest platforms. It is childish, it is stupid, and uneducated, and it drives me nuts. They also propose restricting the definition of hate speech in the criminal code to explicitly advocating the use of force against identifiable groups or people based on protected criteria, as well as they would withhold funding from any post-secondary institution that violates the freedom of expression of its students or faculty.
Don't get yourself too mad here, man.
No. I'm trying.
It's difficult too. It's difficult too because there's a lot about this party that is very, very angering.
Yeah.
The one that bothers me the most is they're very pro free market in healthcare. So they want to partially or entirely dismantle our universal healthcare system, which is one of the best fucking things about Canada.
Yeah.
Basically, the whole party can be summed up with they are looking at the shit show that is the United States of America. No offense, Ashley, I'm very sorry. But they're looking at that and thinking, yeah, that's what we can do. And they're looking at all the good things in Canada and be like, no, fuck all of those things. And it's
that's what we could do. You shouldn't, guys.
It's 100% of an extremist party for Canadian standards, because essentially you're taking the Republican ideals of the states and bringing them over thinking they're great. Because that's all the Republicans say. Oh, there should be free speech, until they get into power. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, well, if you're saying these things, they're doing the same thing as the Democrats, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You're not going to tell me that you're all about free speech and then you start hating on people that are Islamic, right? Look, you don't have to agree with them, but you don't have to trash them either. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing that pisses me off about the PPC is they're trying to become the Republican Party of Canada. They're not the People's Party of Canada. Sorry. That's a socialist mindset, being a People's Party, first of all. That's like saying, China is the People's Republic of China. Well, it's really not. It's the Chinese Communist Party, right? So
it's nothing like the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Democratic People's Republic.
The least.
And this is, again, just to inform people, they also want to substantially lower the total number of immigrants and refugees Canada accepts each year and accept a larger proportion of economic immigrants. The PPC would also limit the number of immigrants accepted under the family reunification program, and this part, as a father, this part really hurt, including ending it for parents or grandparents, limit the number of temporary foreign workers, and increase the resources for law enforcement agencies to do background checks on immigrants. They would also ask the immigrants who are coming into the country about Canadian values and societal norms in a face-to-face interview.
God.
Let's control people coming. It's like, what?
Yeah.
The nice thing about Canada is like, okay, you don't have to agree. But yeah, in some ways, they should be coming here with the mindset, look, I'm leaving a lot of this stuff behind. But there's a lot of the culture we want. We want that cultural mixing because that's what makes Canada great, right? Like, to essentially get to the point where you're saying, nah, these guys are, a danger. No, what? For bringing their food in, for bringing even their religion in. There are aspects of every religion that can contribute to society.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Also,
matter.
Let's not forget, just to go stone cold, like back in history, this land belonged to Native Americans. We as white people came in, implemented our beliefs, our society into this world, and integrated it with, not well, but we integrated that into what is now Canada. For you to stop what is happening for other people to do the same is ridiculous, and is technically going against what this country was founded on. It's fucked up. It's messed up. The last thing I will mention on this article, which again I highly recommend everyone to read once you have a chance, for the deficit of the and the economy, the PPC would eliminate the deficit by the end of the first mandate, which is impossible. Which they promised to achieve partly by phasing out all pandemic spending programs, cutting corporate welfare to the tune of $5 to $10 billion, cutting $5 billion in foreign development aid, and defunding the CBC to save $1 billion, cutting equalization payments and funding for programs that all fall within the responsibilities of provinces and cities. They want to take the one thing, one of the biggest things, the CBC, which has been known for years as one of our staple broadcasting channel, and that is CBC and Radio-Canada, because it's the same. There's the French side, Radio-Canada, and then there's CBC, which is the French side. The thing that, honestly, it's going to sound kind of weird, maybe over-patriotic, but kind of makes us Canada is the CBC with its news. For a while, they were pretty impartial. Now they're pretty liberal-heavy, I'm not going to lie. That's just, it's unavoidable. But they have still had some of the best news gathering shows, some of the best anchors, some of the best information that can be spread nationwide, and they want to remove it because they know that if they've somehow, by a miracle, a snowball's chance in hell, were to become in power, that'd be one of the biggest standpoints against them.
And they want to lower taxes somehow.
Yeah.
And they're not lowering their own paychecks. You know, there's something shishy about that. It's like, you're going about it all wrong. So essentially you want to destroy the country to try and make it this uber right-wing utopia, pretty much.
A white man's world.
Another instance of them looking at all the over-capitalist shit in America, and then looking at Canada, and then looking at the very social-heavy policies of a lot of Europe places, and seeing how well things are going in Europe, seeing the shit show in America, and they're like, no, we're going to do that one.
America looks so much better.
I don't get how people can think it's a good idea.
Because of this whole connotation against, I'm sorry to bring this up as a kind of a side thing, this whole connotation against the word socialism, right? All because of American fear and McCarthyism, right? Back in the day, which essentially was, if you're communist, you're socialist, and if you're socialist, you're evil. Which, when you think about it, is not true at all, because there's so many countries in Europe that are way more socialist than even we are, and they are considered way more, Americanized in some ways, like the UK.
I got berated at work by a coworker because I said something. It was around election time, and I said something about Bernie Sanders, and they're like, "Oh, you damn socialist!" And I went,
"Whoa."
Okay, thank you. That's great.
And
I was like, I got bullied off Twitter. Yeah.
I was just like, okay, sorry. And then it was funny because I brought it up to a boss, a manager, and that person was promptly moved away from me. And I went, thank you, get them out of here.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like this. It's the whole concept of Islam. So essentially, because you believe in a certain mindset, which actually is beneficial for everyone when you think about it, you're the enemy and you're a problem. And you need to die, essentially,
or just not get accepted into the country, right? Like it's
depending which way. A weird thing happened to me a little while ago. This was very shortly after the terror attack that was in London here.
Okay,
that was the white guy who.
Oh my god, yeah, that monster.
And so literally a couple days after that, I was out. I was out at lunch. I was literally walking outside the restaurant, and a very elderly Middle Eastern man walked up to me. And the first thing he did was pull out a cross around his neck and was like, I'm Christian, I'm okay, I'm Christian. Then he started asking me for directions of where a store nearby was. I wasn't really able to help him because I didn't know where the store was, but like it just weirded me out that he was approaching someone asking for directions, and the first thing he felt the need to say was that he was Christian, not Muslim. I'm Christian.
And that's the
sickening a little bit because that was weird.
Yeah,
that's the sickening part about it, right? Like, why does it matter to me what you believe in? I don't have to agree with you. I don't have to necessarily like everything about that, right? But I am not going to go up to somebody and essentially treat them like garbage because they're different than me. I mean, I just don't understand this concept from people that say, oh, look at that person. That person is different, therefore he's bad, or blah, 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 right? Me, everybody's the same. I look at everybody as if I'm looking at myself, just with different clothes. Like, it's just, well, how would I want to be treated? Hey, dude, what's
really
up?
Saddening that even in Canada, even a place where it is a cultural mosaic, we should have people coming here and feeling safe. But this man felt very nervous walking up to me, a white guy, asking for directions.
For people who are not aware of, I'm not gonna brush over what happened. Unfortunately, there was a gentleman in a vehicle, piece of shit human being, who decided to run
terrorist.
over. Straight up, it was an act of terrorism. Decided to run down and kill an entire, I believe it was Muslim family, leaving only one child, a small child, left alive. It's sad. It's disgusting. It's everything that we as Canadians do not stand for, and it breaks my heart that now a child is without their father, their brother, their sisters. They're gone. And worst case scenario, that child will be put into the foster care system, which we all know it doesn't matter where you're from. The foster care system is not always the best. Especially for kids. And you can only hope that kid will be well adjusted by the time he's old enough and not have this hate towards white people, in all honesty, Caucasians, because of the decision made by one idiotic piece of shit terrorist who was white. A white man decided to do something extremely disgusting and stupid, and it brands everyone else as that. And it's what I've for years I've tried to go against, especially when, you know, like, again, as an example, today's the day of all days to talk about this. Things that happened in 9/11.
Oh yeah, shit. I didn't even put two and two together there.
At the end of the podcast, the screen will go to black, and it'll just be a moment of silence as a remembrance for everything that's happened on that day. The people who have sacrificed their lives trying to salvage the wreckage that happened that day on that day of that attack. But it is the same idea that when that happened, a lot of people, Muslim, Indians, anyone who was of, we'll say, olive or brown color, got labeled a terrorist, and it just started this whole extra layer of hate mongering. It is sad that so many years later, we're at this point now where it instead of it being something that's been resolved, we are now the ones who are acting like those terrorists. We are the ones of our culture now going against people of those colors, of ethnicities, races, religions, all of that, sexes. And do people not understand that this is exactly what happened then is happening now, but it's just we as the majority are now acting like those pieces of shits? It's not acceptable. We should be better. And a lot of us are. Everyone here, we're not that. But it's just, all it takes is that one asshole, that one cuntbag, that one terrorist, to fuck it all up. And I'm sorry for using the language, but it's just, obviously, peace on earth is always something that people want. It is not something that'll ever happen, because as long as there's some different opinion, like we see with the PPC, there will always be people who have to band together and just show that we are better than that. And I want us to be better. Exactly. Said before we close off, does anyone want to say anything more? This kind of became a pretty heavy-handed conversation from what started as the podcast to where we are now. But this is the SSN Podcast. That's what we do every single week. We bring up things that are important to us, things that are dumb, fun, and sometimes serious. It's unavoidable. That is the world that we live in, and we will not hide. As long as you're not saying, like, you're a part of those people. If you're a part of those people, get the fuck out of my company. Right? If you're one of those hate mongers, get the fuck out. But yeah, we are here to just be us and to be honest. And we've all said those things. For people who might not be comfortable enough to say it, I will say it for them. And this is a subject that I am comfortable and passionate enough to talk about. Yep. Which goes into please vote, and please make your voice heard in the right way. You might like some of the things that the PPC has. There are different parties out there for you that you'll find that in without supporting that.
Like the Conservative Party of Canada that still supports the programs you need. It's
the Conservatives, you might find something in the Green Party, you might find something in NDP.
Exactly.
Liberals.
Yeah.
Or there's some even smaller groups out there, or maybe an independent representative out there that'll have closer to your morals.
Take 30 minutes out of your day. Just look at them all. And then make an informed decision. And then go freaking vote. Your employer will let you go vote. And if they're not going to let you go vote, slap them in the face and go vote. Because, geez, you got to vote. That's part of your responsibility.
Yeah. Honestly, highlight in your statement, research. Do your own damn research.
Exactly.
Don't read a damn post on social media and base everything you know on that one little post. Do your own research. God damn it, people.
Tests online.
At your fingertips. I get so angry. Okay.
Right? Tests online that you can put in your political beliefs and it'll spit out which political party is closest to
exactly.
Don't use one of those.
Yeah, don't listen to Facebook Karen. Do your own research. Use Google. Google is your friend, not Facebook.
Go right to the party pages. Look at what they're saying from the horse's mouth. And then use your brain. Think about it. Make an informed choice.
And if your vote is going to be PPC, you know what? Then don't vote. Don't fucking vote. Don't vote if your vote is PPC.
Okay, we gotta still be respectful to people that want to vote.
Of course.
Like if you're gonna vote wrong, okay, just slap yourself after. But
they have the right to their wrong opinion. Okay?
Exactly. We can't be like that.
Yeah, of course. That was a joke. For just one last thing, for people who want to vote, if you're in an area that it's happened before. My mother-in-law, she lives in a very isolated area in Astaire. It's close to Sudbury, where our hometown. She went to the voting booth once, and there was no one at the booth because it was one person who was running it, right?
Yeah.
Don't feel like if your booth is for some reason unoccupied that you can't go vote. No, as long as you have your voter card, even then you don't have to necessarily have it. You can go find another polling station and go vote outside of your region. They will accept you. There's more paperwork involved, but it can and will be done.
Exactly.
No one has the ability or the power to stop you from voting. It would just take more steps, but it is something that needs to be done.
It needs to be done. Needs to be done.
Yeah.
Every voice needs to be heard, so we have a proper country.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Now, with that, thank you so much for joining us. This is the SSN Podcast. We love you. Each and every week, we try to sit down on Saturday, talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about. We have a rotating cast, which is always nice now, where in one of these days, I'm not going to be here. And I'm going to make it on purpose that I'm not here. And then we're going to have one of these other schmucks take the lead and try to not get political.
Yeah, right.
We'll see how that works.
Because it's going to go that way.
Yeah. So if you guys want to support us, it's super simple. All you got to do now is go to twitch.tv/SSNplays. You can follow us. You can subscribe with your Twitch Prime Gaming, or in Canada it's $6.99. In the States it is $4.99. You can go ahead and also go to youtube.com/liveselectstart and go ahead and subscribe there. We support you. You support us. We support you no matter what. No, honestly, we love you for it. Thank you so much for staying.
Yeah.
Like I said, there will be a moment of silence for us to remember brave women, men, children, everyone whose lives were changed and affected by the events of 9/11. It will last for a minute. After that, we will just sign off. So if you could please take that minute, quiet, pay your respects, and then we'll move on with our lives. And I'll be streaming later tomorrow. Or not tomorrow, tonight. And we'll have a good time. But for now, we love you. Thank you for joining us. And get ready for that moment of silence happening right now. Thanks for joining, everybody. We love you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.
You.